Hi guys, this is just a quick video to show you some of the stuff with AI that I've been using lately. This first one is Gemini Live. It's something that I've only just become aware of in how we can use that as a tool to learn about programming just tonight. So I thought I'd just add this to the other option that I'll give you a bit later, which is the one that I use more regularly. But this looks really interesting. Hopefully we can capture this on the screen. Basically, you go to Google AI. You can't use, just let me change here. Okay, so you can't use it with your school login. So you'll need to use a private Google account. And the idea is that you can share your screen with Google's AI called Gemini, and it can see what's on your screen and it can actually react to it. Now, I give you this URL here, which is like a tutorial. It's how I learn about it. I will try briefly to try and show you. It may or may not work on the screen. Bear with me for a minute. So let's go to the tutorial here, the Google AI Studio, and you'd select Stream Real Time, and I think you go Show Gemini is the one. You should get these two little icons here. You may get prompted to whether you're allowed to share that facility. First time around, I've already said yes to it, so I don't get it again. I asked to share my screen, and it
Okay.
asked me which screen. Now I'm going to select
Okay.
another screen that I've got. You can't see it at the moment. In fact, maybe you can. Okay, there you can see it. So I've got another screen open here with some code on it, and I'm going to share that screen. It's getting a little small, but I'm going to pick that screen from up here, and then basically the Google AI Studio will be able to see that screen in real time. So I'm going to get back to the main screen just so we can see what I'm doing. And go entire screen, and here I can see the screen that I want to share, and I go
Okay.
share.
Basically, the Google AI Studio will be able to see that screen in real time. So I'm going to get back to the main screen just so we can see.
All right, so you can see that it's recording my voice.
Yes, I see your screen and the code that you are sharing. You also mentioned that I can hear your voice.
Can you briefly describe the code on the screen?
Sure. The code on the screen is a Python script using the FLASK framework. It defines 3 routes, one for the index page, another for page.
Okay, well, this is sort of confusing, but you get the picture. It actually just looks at my screen, it can see the code, and if you start asking it questions, it can respond. It's a bit confusing because I'm sort of recording this video as I'm speaking to it, but hopefully you get the picture, and I think it's worthwhile having a play with it. I think this tool's a little bit raw yet, but it's really interesting concept, and it's quite jaw-dropping just what AI is going to be able to provide to us in the future. So have a look at that. What I want to show you now is a technique that I've been using more consistently. I'll stop sharing everything here. Hopefully I can close everything down.
For the A, I can see the code on your screen.
Okay, I've closed that down. Don't need any of that. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, so that's one way. The second way is a little more traditional. I basically use ChatGPT, but you can use Gemini, whichever you prefer. But what you often find, right, is that you've got a project like this, and say level 4, for instance. I might want to ask it questions about level 4. And the question is, how do I let whatever, in this case, ChatGPT, know about, and let me put that back up on the screen. So how can I tell ChatGPT, this is all the code in my project, have a look at it, analyze it for me. How do I do that? Well, let me show you. It's just a pretty simple shell command. It is, it is on the screen here. You can copy and paste this. It's a find command. So copy. So I'm going to grab a shell here, and I need to CD into the shell, so into the particular folder. Let me just put this up. Okay, so I'm here. I want to get level 4, and I want to discuss level 4 with ChatGPT. So I CD into level 4. That's there, and I just paste this command in. I press enter, and what we should see is a new file abc.txt appear here somewhere. Okay, so let us run this. Now abc.txt, it actually should contain, okay, my copy and paste didn't work. It missed the first character of find. So let's try that again. I will press up arrow. I will go to the beginning of the line. Sorry about this. I just didn't copy and paste properly. F, okay, so I press enter. Okay, so abc.txt, that's this one. It contains all of the text for all of the files. So, you know, my CSS, my HTML, my app.py, everything's there, right? And so what I can do now is, maybe I'll split this. That might be the best way to do it. I can go to my ChatGPT. I open that up, and what I can do is I right click on this. I go reveal in File Explorer. Shows me in File Explorer this file, and I can literally drag it across to ChatGPT. And I can say something like, give me a brief outline of what this project does, or something like that. And it could tell me that. It says it's a progressive web app. It says it's timetable and notes feature, and so on and so forth. And it tells me about that. But I can ask it then very specific questions as well. I can ask it like, I can say, you know, suggest some security improvements, for example. And it'll come up with a whole bunch of things. You could ask it specific things about what's in your app.py, or you might want to extend something or whatever. But I find this very useful to basically give a code base to ChatGPT, so it's got a starting point. So there are a couple of techniques lately I've been using with AI. Of course, AI, there are other techniques you can use. You can use Copilot somehow. I think it's Shift Control I. Yeah, Shift Control I has Copilot. I haven't really used, I've tried using Copilot, not very successfully so far, but it's probably good as well. At the moment, there's so many AI options, it's hard to know where to start. I've generally been using ChatGPT myself because I'm more familiar with that. But this Gemini tool looks very interesting and probably worth pursuing as well, and keeping an eye on for the future. Hope this has helped you. I would always approach AI with a little bit of caution. It does simple things well, and then as you get more complicated in your requests, it tends to get a little more mixed up, or it tends to make errors, or it tends to do things that you can't understand well. But for doing simple things, it's a really unbelievable learning tool. It's also an unbelievable learning tool for interpreting error messages. You ought to look at that, and giving you tips on how to debug things. Really important for that as well. I've learned a lot from it myself in the last few days. So yeah, hopefully that little find sort of tip is useful for you in transferring your code base, you know, from Visual Studio Code into something like ChatGPT or Gemini. I'll leave it there. I'll start working on the next video so that we can wrap this project up, and I'll leave that for now. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.